So this is the end of the day. See, we have a full room. So let's have some fun a bit. "25 minutes, that's even more than I need. Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. Great to meet you. So let's go on a story. The unparalleled future. Decentralization, innovation, global empowerment. I don't have the clicker, this is it? Harnessing blockchain for transparency, equitable and efficient tomorrow. Unlock novel economy model and community-driven ecosystem. On board, the next billion users to Web3. Sounds familiar? Should I go on? A truly innovative ZK Snark layer 2 for enhancing throughput. Let's make a new one. So we built a token, the AI Quantum X, and it powers the metaverse for quantum algorithm. You guys still following? Right? So the unparalleled future project, seriously, bro, trust me, this is the next big thing. This is the architecture. We thought about every detail. This is not a Ponzi. This is recursive yield farming. It's just better. It's not inflation. This is emission schedule for ecosystem incentive, right? We heard of that before as well. I think everyone here is too familiar with the pitch. Sounded really realistic. It's a satire. Maybe time for a change. And I think with this ETH Prague, the hackathon coming, let's build some real shit. And let's go. So, before we get started, let's ask the audience this simple question. How many million instructions per second is processing Ethereum network? Go ahead, just raise the hand, give it a wild guess. Million instructions per second, MIPS. It's good old measuring computer throughput. Okay, we have less than one here. Less than one. 0.1. Over there. Patrice? 2. No clue. Million instructions per second. Okay, let's see. So let's put some scale. I will get to Ethereum in a bit. Intel processor, 412 billion instructions per second. This is a beast. Your grandfather, Atari, 8-bit system. Or maybe this is your generation. I didn't have one, but I was close. 1 MIPS. Groundbreaking. Ethereum EVM. 0.45. So we are less than 350,000 instructions per second. My side note here says Well, we shouldn't be comparing a CPU and the Ethereum network. This is a network. Every instruction has been validated by a consensus network, which is fucking great. Okay? Well, a word about me. This is traditional. So I'm a chief architect. I'm the open source maintainer of statechannel.org, the initiator of a new ERC 7824. I'm building with Yellow the next generation traditional finance infrastructure. And I spoke more with AI last month than with real people. The joke is that ChatGPT thinks I'm his therapist. That's how far I got. Okay. So recently, the numbers shows that there is over close to 12,000 data centers. This is basically 5% of energy consumption on the planet. This is the scale of Web 2. And we're being very enthusiastic. This is a great value. Thinking we're gonna onboard the next billion people. Well, before we do that, I believe we should be able to leverage the cloud infrastructure that is widely available here. I believe in the next year with AI, the 5% may turn into 10% global energy consumption just for compute. This is a staggering amount. So this is the vision. Web3 applications should not be Web3. They should be Web 2. They should be capable to scale to the infrastructure we've been building over the last 30 years, I'd say. Maybe we already have the solution. The state channel. It allows real-time interaction with the security of blockchain, feeling like you're running a Web 2 application with the benefit of blockchain. Instant off-chain interaction sounds pretty good. Natively chain agnostic, well, sounds pretty good. Horizontally scalable. You add more servers, you have more power. You can use the entire 12,000 data center if you had to. Glitch. I don't know where is the device. So what's the problem? Why state channel isn't helping fixing the 1 billion next Web3 user problem? Our entire industry have been turning around this problem, never achieved mass adoption, and this is like the elephant in the room. Why? While we have the solution, the technology, the everything, we haven't solved the problem yet. The theory, it's simple but complicated. This is the summary of 4 or 5 years of state channel research. Oh yeah, it's very simple, but it's complicated. Complicated level of nightmare. So in practice, it's simple, but the off-chain protocol, you just have to figure it out yourself, implement everything. This is one thing. It's scalable, but you need to reinvent peer-to-peer networks. You need to figure out everything here. There is some library, but basically you're just starting back from scratch. It's cross-chain, but basically there is zero ERC, zero chain agnostic protocol talking about this subject. So basically, like, there is no interoperability with Solana, whatever. I mean, there is the EVM guys, there is the other guys, and nobody agrees. The solution, I don't know if anyone here guessed it. I'm going to drink some water. What's the solution? Actually, it's more boring than we know state channel can be. It's simply consensus, talking about it, agreeing about it, debating. This is why we do such kind of event. Standardization. This is how the internet was born. We did a great fucking job at standardizing TCP/IP, and it worked. W3C, all of these things, hope it rings a bell. So making an ERC is a first step. There is more. Could be making an RFC. Could be more. There is like the chain agnostic thing. And the SDK shall complement well the documentation, I would say, the protocol. So this way people can try it, experiment, provide some feedback. So this is what we've been doing. The baby is named Nitrolite. And yes, this is highly explosive material because, see you, we're gonna destroy and blow up complexity. Because for once, maybe we should do simple things that works and solve our problem rather than fixing problem that blockchain created in the first place. And I think it's very important. So our work on state channel, it's a bit of a takeover the open source community with my team. Some of the guys you can see here, you guys should raise the hand. Don't be shy. I don't know, my phone wants to, oh, I need to pick up my son in Ukraine. Okay, so what did we do? So with 4 years of working on state channel and learning and going through a lot of work paper and work group, we understood that it's simple but complicated and we need to simplify it. So we drill down everything. I would like to mention for the public that the only state channel technology that actually works in production is Lightning Network. And Lightning Network leverage hash time lock with the stupidest, dumbest language that is the Bitcoin scripting system. Has been modernized with Taproot, but this is, I saw it a few days ago, like 20 lines of code to make state channel on top of Bitcoin. So it's not very complex to do state channel. So we try to stop over-engineering and take some great ideas of Nitro, statechannel.org project, and fork, and let's simplify everything to the essential, what we need. For example, a state channel with 2 participants is good enough. We have other in this category. So we created a lightweight, agnostic RPC protocol because RPC is great, it's been used for many years, and lots of legacy infrastructure uses it, and so why not? We created an SDK, TypeScript, you install it, you open cloud code, you vibe code and say, I want to do PvP Tetris in one shot, he's going to make it, and you're going to have it. Blockchain back, high performance. So, for those who are curious to understand a bit how it works, everyone is familiar with this layer. We got all of the smart contract capabilities, and there is thousands of layer 2, layer 1, but they all do the same thing, and EVM is really widespread, otherwise WASM. On top of it, we deployed Nitrolite smart contract. So to any ecosystem we want to reach, digital asset, we have to deploy Nitrolite. Fairly simple smart contract, available on GitHub. We got our first audit. I think we need many more, but 250 lines of code, I would say. On top of it, we have the ClearNode Mesh Ledger Service, and these are Go classic peer-to-peer nodes with API, which create a logical layer about ledger accounting. Double entry accounting, for those who are familiar, account number, credit, debit, etc. So this is creating a logical layer for the app developers so they can develop off-chain, high performance, low latency, financially backed application. You get all of the benefits of blockchain without having to get the bad UX. This is the promise. I wouldn't say it's easy, but I think it's a good battle. So, example, I'm happy the GIF is working actually. I think it's from a PDF, so. A snake is a very good illustration of what we can do with state channel, what we can do with our framework. The game is fast. Each player needs to use the keyboard and do keystrokes in the lowest latency and the quickest. This is how you're going to be a good snake player, right? And here we can do it with money at stake and with a decent level of security. So this is a good example of what type of application that you could never create with layer 2 DApp and that you can create with layer 3 type of apps. High frequency, off-chain, with zero cost for moving your snake. For the joke, the snake is hungry for performance. So this is also leveraging our RPC protocol and basically has some strategies for anti-cheating. So you could organize the World Olympic of Snakes with money at stake and with referee, decentralized, you name it, it's all in there. So how to use Nitrolite if you want to give it a shot in the next days. I'm hoping all of you joining the hackathon. So it's simply an npm package install. I would recommend going on GitHub ERC 7824. Over there you'll find the source code because this is bleeding edge. We still making change as of today. And this is really an invitation to come and give some feedback, like the vision of Ethereum community. Use the default adjudicator. This is a smart contract which reinforces Nitro and RPC because you're not going to need to have complex business rule on chain. So you can just go with the out-of-the-box configuration. And you can just use the SDK and build your app, vibe coded. This is a bit what we're trying to achieve lately. What's important to keep in mind is that when everything goes to shit, you can call on-chain challenge to recover the funds at any given state that was the latest state. So if you were sitting on a poker table, you could probably get back all of the chips you had in the poker without maybe the last hands you were going to lose. If you understand the analogy. this is it, guys. So we're taking a risk here. This is innovative. We're trying to think out of the box. I would say we're trying to make, finally, something simple and something different that is not yet another layer 2 and not trying to build new solution using more blockchain, and rather leveraging the amazing capabilities of blockchain through layer 3. And I think layer 3 is really a much better place to be. You're going to have the high performance benefit, and you're going to have the blockchain agnostic. So if the contributors are adding an obscure blockchain, you don't have to change any line of code in your app. You're going to benefit this new ecosystem. So probably the message, which might be unpopular for a lot of sponsors, is like, stop choosing a L2, stop choosing their ecosystem, and think a bit out of the box, think layer 3. This way you'll be chain agnostic, and the blockchain guys can evolve, and your app will remain doing all of the functionality without having to move it ecosystem or change it every time there is a new upgrade. That's it. So thank you very much. Our hackathon workshop is going to be presented at the Eve Global Friday, 4 p.m., 2 p.m., you don't know? Maybe Kate? Is she here? Let's say 4 p.m. Look at the schedule on Eve Global. So I will be presenting the SDK. I think Maxime, Andrew will be joining the presentation. We will go a little more in technical depth. And well, you can look at the other participant of the hackathon, and you're going to find 90% layer 2. I think we created 1,000 layer 2 lately, and I'm not sure it makes a lot of sense to build an app for a closed, tiny ecosystem, where I'm still a strong believer that Ethereum is the shit, and maybe you don't need to put your app on an obscure, isolated layer 2, and state channel can really change your perspective on things. At this stage of the project, this is truly bleeding edge, so scan the QR, check the website, the protocol. This is submitted on the Ethereum ERCs, and we're looking for feedback. I think we really need like security review, peer reviews, comment, even naming suggestion for all the things we do. And I think this would be my perfect hackathon to be hacking among hackers. Build an app, give us feedback, or give us your opinion on the protocol and maybe how we can like make this a reality. And once again, we're trying to build something simple. I guess Leonardo da Vinci says, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And I love Unix system, and Unix system has been built a bit on this foundation. Thank you, everyone.